So let's just go ahead and get going. So this particular session, hi Lily, I hope I'm saying your name right, Lily. Hello. So this particular session, we're going to talk about creating time. And I can only imagine, well, actually, I can't imagine because I've been there before, what it's like to feel like one of the big things, aside from money maybe, that's holding you back is time and having the time, and hi Talisha, and having the time and having everything that you need to really get going, right? And especially time. And I don't know for you all, so for those of you that are on right now, if you have children that are under 18, just type, yep, me, anything. Drop an emoji, whatever. That's you. If you have kids that are under 18 at this moment, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Because I will tell you right now, when you have children that are under 18, especially, and you combine that in the mix with having a job, being a mom, right? All the things that go along with it, being a wife, if you are, yep, okay, ladies, I see you. Being a wife, if you are, all these things really compound together. And sometimes it does feel like, where is the time for me and what I need to do? And how am I going to escape on this journey and really get where I want to go if I don't have the time? So I want to talk about that today. And I hope that, ladies, you have a pencil and some paper with you. I'm not going to do any slides or anything like that, but there are some key things that I do want to leave with you. And if you're watching this on the replay, just hashtag replay any comments that you'd like to make as we go through. All right, so the first thing is this. When it comes to creating time, now a lot of people will say, you can't create time, right? What you have is what you have. 24 hours, that's what you got, that's what you got. And there is truth to that. All we have are 24 hours in a day. But when I talk about creating time, what it really is a mental shift. So instead of being in a place of, oh, I don't know how to time, I don't have time for that. I don't know where I'm going to find time. I don't know where I'm going to find time. When you take the lens of I need to create time, prioritization comes into your mind. You begin to see, well, where is there other opportunity where I can create, where I may already have that space occupied with something, but how can I create the time to insert the things that I need to do? So having that attitude of creation really just changes the game a little bit mentally. And to be honest with you, this whole journey, you escaping corporate, right? You jumping on your entrepreneurial journey and being on your own boss. Ladies, it is a big mental journey, okay? Trust me. Trust me on that. So anyway, so let me tell you a little bit about my story. So at the time when I was in corporate, my kids, I had 3 kids, all 10 and under at the time. And my oldest child is on the autism spectrum. So sometimes it felt like having 4 children, to be honest. Got a husband, 5, right? All these things kind of compounded together. And so you take being a mom, working full time, and I was managing a team of 12. So being an active manager, and whenever you, for those of you out there who manage teams in your corporate life, you know what I'm saying. That's like having children too. So had that going on, still external things, right? So you may be committed to things at the church, maybe you're on a board, all that. I had all those things happening. But the one thing that was super important is I knew that I was not about to continue to let my brilliance be kept and held on to by another corporation, right? I knew that I had to break out, that I was called from, I had no choice. I had to create the time that I needed to make things happen. So for me, I recall very early mornings, and we're going to talk a little bit. I'm not going to be on here long, but we're going to talk in a little bit about 2 things that you can do. And I really do want you to walk away with some action when we come out of these lives. But either way, for me, I would be up super early. So like 4:30 in the morning, I kid you not. I would be up at 4:30, and I was in a period of time where I was really discovering, like, what am I gonna do? Like, what I know I'm gonna leave. how is this going to work out, right? What do I need to be doing? How do I need to be preparing myself? All this other stuff. I went through that process. So the same process when, if you're ever coaching with me, that happens there. I went through all of this stuff myself. And so 4:30 in the morning, right? I'm up. Thankfully, right, I had a husband who, for a long time, was a stay-at-home dad. For a very long time, was a stay-at-home dad, and there was a bit of a routine there. So I had that luxury of leaving out to work. I say it as a luxury, but at the same time, I felt guilt for it. So leaving out to work, and sometimes I didn't see my kids before they went off to school, right? That's kind of the guilty part. But when it came to my journey, it became like all right, I get up early, I do what I need to do. I can go, I can sail out the door, maybe I could help with a few things, that type of thing. But I had to find that early morning time to get like a couple of hours. That was part of my creation. That was one part of it. The next part of my creating time was really thinking about where did I have those pockets of time that were underutilized. So I may have been doing something, but the time was underutilized. For example, I would commute back and forth. So my commute was about 45 minutes. Sometimes I drive in the car. Sometimes I would take the bus, the commuter bus, back and forth. If I was driving in the car, of course I was driving, that was active time. But at the same time, again, what else could I have been doing? And so at that point in time, as I'm discovering things and every day is a new learning experience. Oh, I need to learn about that. Oh, I need to learn about that. I would use that time while I was driving to have a YouTube video on. I was not watching it while I was driving. So let me just put that caveat on. But I would be listening to it, right? Because now here I'm creating time to do some of the learning that I need to do in the midst of things that are already happening. Because if I don't create the time, again, the mental shift, I'm not going to expect for it to just appear out of thin air, right? I'm not going to expect to just find the time, because that will be rough for you, right? Until you mentally set yourself on, okay, I am a creator, so I will create what I need to make it happen. Okay, if this is resonating with you at all, drop a comment for me in the chat. Either it's a me, you're talking to me, emoji, whatever it is, drop something so that I know you are with me. All right, and by the way, Tamika, you manage a team of 10. Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Latoya, you are washing dishes as you wash this. Which you don't want to be doing by that emoji. But that actually is one of the things that I'm talking about in creating that time. Talisha, talking to you. Tamika, talking to you. Exactly. So you ladies know what I'm talking about. So here's the couple things that I want you to think about. And I've got some notes here. So here are 2 tricks to creating time. And it's really, they're not individual tricks, they kind of go hand in hand. So I think of them as hand in hand things. So here's where, if you've got your pencil, you've got your paper, here's where I want you to start taking some notes. Latoya, if you want to take your hands out of the dishwater, whatever, here's where I want you to start taking some notes, okay? All right, the first thing is, of course, you're going to need to list out those things that you need to do, right? Maybe that's obvious, maybe it's not. But if you're walking around holding it in your head and at the same time saying, I've got so much to do, oh my gosh, when am I going to get it done? And it's not written anywhere, that's not going to help you. So go ahead and write down all those things that you need to do. And when you write them down, you don't want to just write them down like, oh, okay, I need to do my research for this thing, or I need to go and check out this or buy this or whatever it is. Get specific, and get specific in terms of what are the actions leading up to that you need to do. And I'll tell you why that's helpful in a second. So let's take an example. There are some of you who I know want to get licensed for certain things, whatever you're doing. You want to get some licensing or something like that. So that may be something that you have on your list, like, oh, okay, I need to get my license. But if you take it a step deeper, you may need to do some research about the requirements for getting your license. Now, if you start getting those steps in play, when we get to step 2, you will see how, okay, I'm starting to feel myself create time for things. So here's step 2. Step 2 is identifying any untapped pockets. And the way I want you to do this, so think about this question. What else could I be doing when I am fill in the blank? Now, be careful with this because it is not necessarily an excuse to multitask all over the place and not be focused. It's not what I mean. So I want you to refer back to my car example where, yep, I'm driving in the car, and even to this day, honestly, even to this day, I will do it. When I want to just sort of listen, I'm a big follower of Abraham Hicks and just that whole law of attraction and mental and mindset and that type of thing. And sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I need to take a drive over here. I'm going to put that on so I can just sort of listen to that and just sort of reset myself, right? The way I want to be. I just want to reset things a little bit. And so that's what I mean. So thinking about what else can I be doing when I am washing the dishes, like Latoya, right? What else can I be doing when I am, insert some of the things that you are doing during the day. That's where you're going to find those untapped pockets, right? So now after you've identified, all right, I've got some areas where I could have something else in there, right? You don't want to have things where like, okay, I'm spending time with my husband, I could be doing something else. I am, working with my kids, I could be doing something else. Like, yeah, we don't want things like that, like things that detract from very valuable things in our lives. We want to avoid that. But once you have them identified, now if you go back up to that first step where we're saying, here are the list of things, the very specific things that need to get done, you can start to say, in the case of that research, right? If there was research I need to do for my licensing, and I've got an untapped pocket while I'm driving, or I've got an untapped pocket while I'm washing the dishes, or whenever I've got an untapped pocket when I am outside mowing the lawn or whatever it is, you can utilize that to say, okay, I've just created the time I need right there. So I'm going to listen to this video. I'm going to mentally process through the map that I'm going to be doing while I'm mowing the lawn. Then when I get in the house, I can easily write it down. Is it making sense for you guys? If it's making sense, just drop a yes, I get it, anything like that in the chat. And hello, Sabrina, welcome. Welcome. So when you've got yourself set into that, I'm going to create the time. I'm going to create the time. You'll start to lose some of the, where am I going to find it? Where am I going to find it? Where am I going to find it? Because in the midst of the things that you're doing on this entrepreneurial journey, and on this journey to be your own boss, there are plenty of things. There are plenty of things. And I will tell you this, even when you make your jump to being your own boss, there will still be plenty of things. Plenty. I can't tell you the number of conversations that I have had with my own husband. I thought you would have so much time when you were done. You would have so much. It only expands. So if you can master the idea of creating time now, it will serve you not only now as you make your exit, but it's also going to serve you as you get full time as well. All right? So that pretty much is all that I have for you guys today on this one. So this whole month of October, and by the way, if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. I'll hang around for a second. But this whole month of October, and I don't have the events in front of me, but I'm going to focus in on that balancing. And that was a thank you to you, Tamika, because I believe you were the one that brought up balancing as you're on your way out. So we're going to talk about different topics. Creating time was one. We'll talk about setting boundaries in the workplace and how we can create opportunities for ourselves by boundaries. That's a fun one. And then there are some other ones as well. I can't think of them off the top of my head. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I'm just looking at the comments, making sure I'm not missing anything from anybody. No questions, no questions, no questions. Latoya, enjoy those dishes. All right. All right. Okay, awesome. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. And one thing I do want to tell you, I think I dropped it in the group. I'm sure I did. So we've got a new show. I've got a new show that I'm partnering up with my biz bestie. You're welcome, Tamika. That I'm partnering up with my biz bestie, Lakeisha Mosley. And this show is focused on taking Black women's perspectives on business. And so we're actually going to be going live at 7 o'clock Central here, so in 40 minutes or so. So if anybody wants to jump in on that, see that, I believe I have the link here in the group. I'm sure I shared it there. But that's going to be a helpful and interesting series for most of you as well. So have a great rest of your night, and talk to you again soon.